Paul, they're saying they can't hear. Hello.
Working! Yes! Okay, I now know what the problem was. The microphone wasn't plugged in. Pretty next level. Pretty next level, everyone. Thank you.
Wow.
Professional YouTuber.
Punter level, yeah.
This is why you never change anything. Hello, welcome. Yes, thank you, everyone. Dino at Rides, you were completely right. My microphone wasn't plugged in. So, back to the point at hand. So, welcome to the Paul the Punter live stream. I have a Discord, which you can see right there. Now, if you go and join that, you can join on the chat. I can drag you in to the live stream, and we can go on air, and you can join in on the discussion. And so perhaps we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. So we're going to do a rundown of news. We're going to talk about maybe some move and shakers that have been happening in racing. Also, what are the other YouTubers up to? We're going to check in there. I want to hear all about the riding that you've been up to, because it's Shred-tember, which is the best time of riding. So we're going to talk about like just general riding. And then there's been some product news. Like, I know mountain bikers like to talk about new gear and what have you. So there's been a couple of things that have come out. So we'll bolt that on right at the end. So those are the main things we're going to talk about. But what we're going to do is introduce my guests that I have on the show as well. I'm going to make sure that absolutely when I click a button that nothing's going to go wrong. So first of all, Bobo, are you there?
Hey, buddy.
Yes. Okay. I am 100% sure that they can hear you, Bobo. So, yeah, if you don't know, Biking with Bobo, probably the funniest channel going on the internet right now, with a slight steer towards mountain biking. He just did a fantastic video about how to become a YouTuber with BK. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it now. So yeah, Bobo, welcome. And joining Bobo is Brent from not only the Frontlines MTB podcast, which you can go and find in all good podcast locations, but he's also the community manager on Trail Forks. And he works with trail associations to make sure all of their trails are up to date. And it's not just random people going and putting in random trails. It's actually run by the trail associations themselves. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you, Paul. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, well, I've got a beer. Now, this is quite a basic flavor as opposed to normal, because the nearest liquor store is pretty rubbish to where I live. So, and that's why.
What is that?
Bobo, this is a delicious Sleeman's Honey Brown Lager. So, I know
Really good.
if I was meant to be like
Just a second ago, but you just like sold it really well. Sounds like a good beer.
yeah. So no, it's actually really tasty. I hate serious beers like the IPAs and stuff like that. I just give me something sweet and fruity all day. Like that's me. I'm sure you guys are completely different, but that is how
you need it like garnished with like pineapple and like an umbrella on top.
Now you're talking. Like beer is just so serious.
I'm cringing.
Beer is so serious.
In love with an orangutan in there.
Yes, please. That would be great. Do you guys have a tipple going on? What's in your glasses?
That tipple is some foreign word for are you drinking? Yes, I have a beer. I'm going to go watch Train Spotting right after this and see if I can figure out what that means. Yes, I'm aware that's in Scotland. Yes, I know you're not Scottish. I'm drinking a Dead Guy Ale.
Okay.
And it is a beer you would not like. Because
it's super serious. Got it. Brent, have you got anything going on?
Yeah, I'm working on a case of 1560. I would be a self-described beer snob, so I got a case of beer for free, and I'm still not developed enough to say no to free beer, but I'm getting close to saying no to free beer. So
I don't think
smell.
any human is above that quite yet.
Well, if it was a case of Budweiser, I might say no, but
Okay.
but I'll accept mid shelf. I think maybe bottom shelf, not so much.
Mid-shelf. Nice. I love the way I now have a vision that you literally have an entire case and you're just like gonna smash through 24 bottles in this like potentially 1 hour long show. Like I really appreciate that. Okay, so have you guys been out riding? What's been happening?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm a huge fan of fall. It's funny. I stop riding in the summer a little bit because I want some moisture in the trails. So I've definitely been out more in September and waiting for October to roll around. I call it Shredtober, but I guess Shredtember works too.
Yeah, because it's I work on Shredtember, and then it's Hucktober.
Ah.
So October is the time where you do all the things that you've been eyeing up all year, because it's like, oh, if I get injured, no big deal. Like, what's going to happen? Oh no, I can't sit on my ass and watch Christmas movies in December. Like, oh crap. So that's why I call it October. That's when you
watch
send
some
it.
Hallmark specials, that'll be perfect.
Exactly. That's what's been going on. Hey, I don't know, have you been working today? I can only assume you have.
Yeah, I've been plugging away. Trailforks is kind of going through a bit of a content edit purge right now. So it's we're gonna have Trailforks maps on Garmin devices. So when you buy a Garmin device, it's gonna have Trailforks previously loaded. So we've been going through and cleaning up data. So my fingers are cramped and I can barely lift my arms right now. So I'm happy to use my voice and not my fingers right now of like editing a mass amount of trails. It was a little crazy this week.
Yeah, I can only bet. Say, have you got any, if anyone in the chat as well, or indeed wants to come on Discord and you have any Trailforks questions by any chance, then now's your time. There's literally one of the people are here. So have you got any kind of interesting fall stats that you may have been eyeing up, or has that not come across your screen yet?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always blown away at it's every time I check where we're at for trail counts, it's always amazing. It's like the system just keeps growing and growing and growing. It doesn't stop. I don't know like how many trails are there in the world. I think we're sitting at just shy of 140,000, and are we halfway there to mapping the world, or are we almost there, or are we like 5% of the way there? I don't really know.
That's an interesting point Bobo makes there. But what do you?
I haven't really interjected much, but when I do, I pontificated very nicely.
This is a former professor we have on the call. So, what can you? So, Brent, Bobo lives in Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah. What do you know about the trails around there?
Let me see.
Yeah, just off the top of my head. Would have been great.
It's funny. I was actually just working on South Carolina right now. So,
Carolina. There are trails in South Carolina.
Yeah, apparently.
I'm just kidding. I'm from South Carolina originally, so I can talk as much shit about that state as I want.
I used to work as a mountain bike guide, and I would always get people from North Carolina, and they always could shred. And I was like, what is going on in this state? Because generally when people come to Vancouver or the coast of BC, there's a certain kind of caliber of trail here on the coast that most people are kind of in over their head the first time they're here. But for whatever reason, whenever people would show up from North Carolina, I was like, oh man, this person can ride. So I've never been there, but from that experience and what I can see on Trailforks, it seems like there's some pretty decent trails out there. Lots of tech.
Western North Carolina is like super technical, and like it's like an active rainforest. So I mean, roots and just like technical sections everywhere. And yeah, I've given up trusting anyone to follow. Yeah, because they're all pretty crazy. And yeah, you're a product of your own environment. You become crazy yourself.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the coast for sure. I mean, we're in a rainforest out in the Squamish, Vancouver area as well, right?
Oh yeah, big time. Very similar. Okay, let's get right to chatting about what's been happening in the world. And so, Bobo, if you want to talk about live stream problems, I'm glad that we have that.
Is that what this is, a therapy session for me?
No, it's more of it's kind of more like Alcoholics Anonymous, where we kind of come forth and be like, I mean, look, I had my microphone unplugged for like the first 30 seconds of this show.
A 12-step program for live streaming. Is that what this is?
Yeah, this is it.
This is why I haven't made the leap into live broadcasts. I don't want to do this yet.
Oh, it's all about the gamble. It's all about the gamble.
It's a super gamble.
It never goes so smoothly. Like I feel like at some point I'll have this mastered, and yet it just is a constant decline. I've never been so bad at anything in my life.
I know. It's just like every time you go, okay, it's perfect. Like the other week, I came in and it was like 5 minutes to go. I was like, everything's perfect. Then everything decided to update on my screen, like then and there. And I was like, why now? Why is this happening? Or like you unplug your microphone for some other reason. Okay, so here we're gonna go. We're gonna try and do the transition. It looks like it's perfect on my screen, and when I hit the button, it obviously doesn't work. Every single time. If someone can figure out how... Right, okay, so the moment I then switch that over, it works perfect. I am so confused with what's going on. Hopefully, on the screen, in any... There we go. Okay, right, it's now live. So, we're going to talk about Josh Bryson. Did you guys... And I sound like the old buddy from South Park, Jimmy. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? The big news this week: Josh Bryson has left Santa Cruz after 10 years of being a sponsored rider, which is it's pretty crazy. Like that's a big deal. But Bobo, do you follow kind of the sport in terms of racing and things like that at all?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that, Paul. No, I do not. I don't. I just want, we're here to be honest, right? I don't. But, I'm aware it exists. And I know a couple of racers, like Nico Mulally. He's a good guy, right?
Oh, he's from just down the road. As I understand it, according to your videos, you're around the corner from that bike park.
I am. And that's like pretty much the only real racer I know of.
Hey, he's a good dude to know about. Okay, so Josh Bryson, he's a bit of a legend. I'd say, he's the first racer that kind of midway through his while he was peaking, just decided he was going to stop racing and go and do kind of media stuff. I would say, I don't think there's been another person to really do that kind of part way through their actual career.
I think it's rare in most sports. Like he was in his prime when he just suddenly decided to leave. It's interesting, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was only one clear season when he won the entire thing, Bobo. He was world number one, and then a year passed, and then he just went, I'm kind of done with this. So he's
super dramatic world champs too. That season ended in too, right? Like he broke his ankles in the last jump. It was.
Correlation to the carnage and his retirement. I mean, maybe he didn't want to continue to break his body. I don't know. Why did he ever say it was just?
Yeah, there was a
career move.
There were a couple. He said the first words that were coming out were that he was kind of over the environmental impact that was. Oh, now I'm boboing. The environmental impact of kind of downhill racing as a whole. And you can see it if you go to a race, and you see even the trash and all the trucks and everything, it's a big deal. And I think he just read that the Patagonia book, the Let My People Surf, that dude. So there are a few racers. He wasn't the only one that left. There was a guy called Harry Heath that used to race for Norco. He left because of kind of this whole impact that they were creating. But then, and then kind of a few months later, he went on this huge road trip up the side of the west coast of North America. And he's been flying ever since. And we're kind of like, well, is that the reason? But who knows? Only people close to him will actually know the real reason. But I just wanted to kind of highlight while we've got some kind of good internet working, hopefully. There are a couple of videos that he did, and they were really kind of the definition of kind of give a bike to a good rider. We're going to turn this down. This is super loud. Give a bike to a good rider, and he's probably going to make it look good, and therefore sell a few bikes. And this Blur video that he did, it came out, what's that say, 2015. But like this was the first time that I saw him having just so much style on a trail bike, and it lit up the internet at the time. And it was just so stylish and steezy, and they must have sold a bunch of bikes just off this. I don't think that.
Yeah, must have.
Yeah, I don't think that happens anymore. I think a lot of the game has changed in terms of what influences people. But this video in particular was so good, and it's well worth a watch. So we'll stop that one. And then a bit later, there was the infamous Bronson launch video. Can you remember when the Bronson first came out?
I remember wanting a Bronson so much. Like, I thought for sure that when I got a new bike, it was going to be a Bronson. So like somewhere around the time of 2015 and beyond, I've desperately wanted a Bronson.
Yeah.
And then I got a Giant Rain.
Obviously. Yeah.
The way bike purchasing goes.
Yeah. Was that the price range? Was that the better option?
Well, yeah, it was a price range thing because I got a demo Giant Rain, but it was all carbon. Argument was with the extra travel, I'd be still losing a ton of weight and be able to make the climbs in Pisgah and have a park bike too. So it was between that and the Bronson, and it came down to price, and the Rain won.
I mean, honestly, I don't. There are some bikes are so good nowadays. I really wonder, kind of like the actual like nitty gritty stuff. If you get a bike that fits you, I think that's the most important thing. But this video came out, so April 1st in bike media land is always a time where everyone puts up joke content and it's kind of rubbish. They released this video with all the their famous races like Greg Minnaar and Petey and stuff. Actually, Petey's mate.
I know that name.
Yeah,
I know that name.
I've name dropped him, but I don't think he's actually in this. I think this is Cedric Gracia instead. But yeah, they released this, and oh no, there he is. I've actually paused it perfectly on Steve Pete, so I didn't mess up. So they released this new bike, and it was the first. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Brent, but I think this was like the first 27.5 like 160 mil bike that really hit the market in terms of like the geometry and stuff.
What year?
This isn't 2015. This is like 2000 I want to say 2013 was when the Bronson first came out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
I mean, it hasn't been that long, really. It's amazing how much change we've had in such a short period of time with wheel size and everything, right? Like I'm always reminded of that. I've been riding the same bike for I think 5 years now, and so sometimes it's like, oh yeah, this is I've missed out on a couple things, a couple standards that I've skipped over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you're still gonna just choose to switch. Yeah. So that video that came out, I think it created such a kind of effect on everything, and they completely sold out of that bike. So yeah, and then he obviously left and started his 50-1 movement, and now he's left Santa Cruz. I mean, he won a world championship on it, a junior world championship on that brand in 2008. So it's kind of it's a big deal in terms of leaving. And have you Brent, have you heard where he's going, where the rumors are?
No, and it's funny because it's like, is he leaving mountain biking completely? I listened to a soundbite interview, and it sounded super emotional. Like I felt like the team manager for Santa Cruz was gonna cry during it, right? Like it was like,
oh yeah,
he was talking about Josh Bryson leaving, right? And it was like, is he gone from mountain biking completely? What's he switching to, right? Like he's just going to pick up disc golf or something. I don't know.
no, it's not. It's not going to be like that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's confirmed. It's all rumors, right? But as Big B in the chat there has just said, Cannondale is the rumor. Apparently, they're gonna make a downhill bike, and Josh is gonna like mentor 2 people, and they're gonna have a downhill team.
Wow. So he'll be kind of back on the circuit then, maybe not racing, but he'll be back on that.
Yeah. I think, I mean, it must have been, I don't know. Again, I don't know him personally. I don't know what makes him tick or anything. But can you imagine the pay cut from being world #1 downhill racer to making videos? I think there must be some, or the love of racing. Like I don't know. Like there must be something that's kind of made him go. Oh yeah, I want to try something different.
Yeah.
People have a flip, man. Sometimes that switch flips and all of a sudden new priorities rise to the top or whatever. You see it in pro athletes, I think, more than anything. Just like a shift in their focus it's interesting. I don't know if I personally could step away from something I was that successful at. There must have been a really good reason.
Yeah. Imagine being the best in the world and then just being like, I'm all good. Like that's crazy. So
I can't imagine that at all.
Imagine like have you guys ever been close to being like incredible at something? Like really like you don't I don't think I've
not a single damn thing.
Tons of things. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, sorry, Bobo. What Bobo? What examples would you possibly give about being kind of as best as you possibly can be?
I guess not near top of the world, but I've excelled at several things. I'm a pretty damn good guitar player.
That's true.
One thing. I know how to drink a good beer here and there, so I got a talent for that.
And that is going to pay off any day now. Like it's coming.
It is currently. Have you seen the channel? That's the thing.
That is so funny when you were like, oh, there's probably 12 people watching this, and there was like 150 people tuning in at one point.
Oh wow, really? I had no idea I could. Yeah, I'm so terrible at this, but I'm actually still in my. Here's a throwback. I'm pretty. This is. You asked what I was good at. I'm still in my high school's athletic hall of fame because I lettered in 5 sports, and I was a pretty talented.
Impressive.
Hold on, this is breaking.
Yeah, me.
This is breaking news. What do you mean lettered in?
Well, that means that basically I was officially a part of the sports. Like I didn't just like sign up and then ride the bench. Like I played American football, soccer, track, cross country, and I wrestled.
No way. Wow, I can only imagine. You're gonna have to produce something around that at some point. The history of Bobo.
I didn't even know I was in there until I went back from my high school reunion, and there I was. I was like, "What the hell?"
This is an all-American story right here.
Yeah,
I was an athlete. I always bitch about my old athletic days on all the climbs.
Wow, that's next level. I actually in high school I was actually captain of the golf team. Oh, Brent, I think your little one is calling you.
Do you hear that? Is that coming through my microphone right now?
Yeah, that sounds like commitment and responsibility. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good at that. I wouldn't say I'm world champion right now, but I'm doing okay at being a father.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah, that's it.
Okay, hold on one sec. I'll be right back.
You're doing a great job. Okay, this is brilliant.
What?
Oh, you gotta love live streaming.
This is next level. Oh, professional through and through. So yeah, Brent actually runs a podcast, Bobo. That's I wonder if he has this same sort of thing happening on that as well. Who knows? Maybe.
I'm sure.
I have a hungry toddler, folks.
Nice. Okay.
I gotta go.
Oh, Brent, not a problem. Hey, thanks for coming along.
Hey, thanks so much. Yeah, and hopefully next time I can spend the whole time with you guys.
No problem. We understand, although we don't really, because we don't have that level of responsibility in our lives. Cheers, Brent. Thanks very much.
Alrighty. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye now.
Okay, let's throw that guy. Oh, what a half day. Okay, right. Let's remove him from the stream. It's just me and you now, Bobo. So now, if anyone else wants to join in, all you have to do is go onto the Discord link. I will pop it in again, and then when you open it up, there's 8 people online now in the chat room. So any of those guys could join in. All you have to do is click on the I want to chat channel on the left. I'll see that you're in there. I'll see that you're ready. I'll see that your microphone is working. And I can drag you in to the chat and you can get involved. And that's what this is all about. So hopefully when I get 150 people watching Bobo, we're gonna have a bunch of people. Bunch of people. Party. It's gonna be a party. I'm gonna be batting them away with a stick. That's
well, you know, in all fairness, you really did not do a good job of describing this for me. I thought I was going to be seen, so I got like all dolled up for this thing, and here I am, and it's just my sexy radio voice that's coming through. So I didn't have to put on that mankini at all. So this is a little embarrassing.
God damn it! Well, I'm sorry, I've cheated everyone out of that. Cheated out everyone out of it right now. Okay, Bobo, should we have a look at what else has been floating around in the news that is kind of vaguely interesting? Although, actually, do you know what we should do? No, there has been something kind of important that's been going on. So do you know who Jared Graves is?
Say the name sounds familiar, but no, I do not know who that is.
Okay,
I don't think.
So he is an ultimate nice guy, ultimate good dude, and he's been one of the greatest mountain bikers of all time in terms of racing. So let me just try.
He is.
Yeah.
And he apparently has an awesome haircut. I see something scrolling down at the bottom of the screen that indicates that's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
And if it's not a mullet, then I'm not interested. Whoa.
Yeah, check this out. So to say this dude had a change of life situation. That is what happened. So he turned out he was in Whistler and he started getting some seizures. That was it. Started getting
seizures.
Yeah. And then he went and got checked out, and turns out he had a brain tumor. So 1 minute he's a top end athlete, the next he's literally being rushed into surgery. It's pretty crazy. So, but there's been a really kind of cool movement going on where, see how it's kind of like a kind of a faux hawk going on right here. All the racers and everyone have been cutting their hair to be like Jared. It just kind of shows strengthened solidarity.
That's a good trend. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I just wanted to. I know this is a very small way. I've done a couple of videos with Jared when I was at Pink Bike, and he was always like ultimate pro, ultimate nice guy. Like, yeah. So hopefully he's gonna get better soon.
So, well, yeah, I hope so, man. Wow, that's a crazy story. So wait, but what you're saying is, let me get this straight. If I got this right, cut our hair like this too. That's what you're saying. You and I should also show our support.
I feel like I should. I feel like I should kind of do it because there are random people starting to do it now. It's kind of gone out past the racers. Let's say, maybe I could do the classic YouTube thing here and say if I get to 1,000 if
put something on the line.
Yeah, let's get some likes here. How many likes has this stream got? You're watching it. You probably actually know better.
If we can get 500 likes.
Right now,
right now, we will shave our heads. And I plan on leaving a little rat tail back there too.
Perfect.
You know what I mean?
You'd sue a rat tail. I say that very sincerely. I feel like that's like a natural progression.
I had a rat tail as a kid.
Of course. Of course. I have never gone crazy on the haircuts. Once when I was 16, I thought it'd be cool to try and bleach my hair, and I just came out and I got sunburnt at the same time. So I looked like a Neapolitan ice cream at one point because I put on this random shirt. I think it was like a brown shirt, and someone's like, "Oh, you look like a Neapolitan ice cream, you idiot." Nice.
So other than one failed bleaching experiment, you never did like any lightning bolts or racing stripes in the side or anything?
No, I'm so English and so middle class that I've just never got involved in that scene. I could never bring myself.
You gotta try some good old fashioned white trash hairstyles, man.
Well, once at university, I can't. Yeah, I did actually get my lip pierced. That was like the most like insane thing that I've done. And then I came home and my mum couldn't even look at me. But that's a story for another day. Hey, thanks for everyone.
It's like a AAA meeting.
Yeah, thanks for everyone. There's a bunch of people just joined in on the Discord. So again, if you want to chat, you just have to click on the I want to chat, and you can come in here with into this nice warm room with me and Bobo. So hey, Bobo.
Everyone's welcome. Everyone is welcome. It is the room is filling up with burps, but everyone's welcome.
Yeah, I absolutely am. Okay. So what I thought we could do as well is maybe have a chat about kind of the interesting things that we've been seeing as well, and seeing what all these guys are up to. So one thing that it seems the stories have disappeared, but our mutual friend and good old buddy, old pal BKXC, he's in Italy right now.
Yeah.
I don't know where in Italy. Do you know? Did he mention to you?
Oh, he did not.
Okay, he's somewhere in Italy as well, so I can't wait to see that. And he's riding a gearbox bike as well, which is
cool.
Yeah, so he's not got his all bare, so it'd be interesting to see what he makes of that. But then he's going to Tibet, which is a crazy location, I'd say. Like, I couldn't imagine riding my mountain biking in Tibet. You're into film. Have you ever seen a movie called Kundun?
Yeah.
You have?
Wow.
Yeah. It's like I saw that when I was super young, and that's stuck in my mind. So I'd love to go and visit Tibet. I don't know about actually riding it on a mountain bike. That seems pretty crazy.
That'd be interesting. I mean, it's just remarkable, all the new Brian, man, BKXC, he has an enchanted life, doesn't he? Because every time I turn around, he's showing me like, I had no idea that you could ride Tibet, but there's probably some awesome, unbelievable stuff there, can't wait to see those videos.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And I think he's gone out with someone I was with like 2 weeks ago. This dude, Matt, who runs a company in Revelstoke called Wandering Wheels. Me and the old Lone Ranger went out there to do some riding around the area, and he showed us around. Then he's like, "Oh yeah, in 2 weeks I'm going riding in Tibet with Brian." So yeah, he's a really good dude. Big shout out to him. So he's in safe hands. Hopefully, I mean, I don't want to get this. There's demonetizing, then there's having people chase after you because you're talking about the Chinese. So I don't want to get into that kind of hole. That whole risk. And hey, something else happened this week that I was pretty happy to see. Our buddy Eric, No Front Brakes, broke through 5,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good number, man. That's a good feeling. And there he is. Look at him.
Yeah, there he is in all his bearded glory. That's quite a magnificent piece of facial hair, isn't it? You've got to say.
Wait, where's your beard, Paul? You've been doing this for a while.
Look, you can. Look, if I like scratch it, you can hear like a little ASMR beard. I bet that exists. There must be some ASMR like beard rubbing up on a microphone. If not, it's there now, and it will live forever on the internet. So that's great.
It's tend to do.
Yeah. So yeah, Eric, congratulations for breaking through 5,000 subscribers. He is one of the hardest working people. I love how obsessed he gets with figuring out the algorithm stuff and
oh yeah,
working. If I uploaded at 7:30, it's better than 7:45, so I should definitely upload it there. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. I have spent 0 seconds giving two shits about the algorithm because. Not putting down Eric's effort there. Everybody has something that they focus on, and the algorithm is important. But he's got such a great personality. I feel like these guys like Eric who are closing in or just passing 5,000. Here we are 20,000. But
humble brag. Hold on, humble brag. Alarm.
That's not that great. Like there's guys with millions, So
that's true. Yeah.
But and yeah, it was bragging. But they just need to focus on their content, and that's it. Don't focus on your merchandise. Don't focus about the algorithm. Just like because Eric is, I think, got a great personality for it, and he's got a great story. Obviously, being an adaptive athlete.
Oh yeah, completely. I think
I just see him in the forum all the time, focused on the algorithm. I think he just needs to focus on being him and putting good content out.
Oh yeah, I'm completely with you. I mean, we've both in our previous employ both worked full time in YouTube world, and really, like, all you notice is that better the videos, they just do better. Like
it's true.
There's no lying really. Like YouTube's got to the point where it's so intelligent, it can figure out what's good and what's bad. So,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
yeah, I'm completely with you. Like I've for sure been putting more time into my own content. I went and filmed a video with Eric, BC POV, the other Eric of YouTube land, and I went and tried to ride this trail called Treasure Trail in Squamish. It's the hardest trail in town. So imagine Squamish, already kind of a mecca of mountain biking, and yeah, I'm going to go and ride the hardest trail in it. So we spent 4 hours riding this trail that is not that long, but it's just so hard. So yeah.
God.
I'm pretty stoked to get on editing that. But yeah, congratulations, Eric. That was some really, really cool news to see. Now
I'm proud of that guy. He came out to Asheville and rode with me at Kitsuma, and I don't think he was even past 1,000 subscribers at that point.
When was that? When did that happen?
I don't even know what day it is. I can't figure out how long ago that was, but it was a while ago, but not too long. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it's funny.
That was not a good answer.
A few weeks ago when you told me and you were like, what day is it? And I was like, it's Wednesday, Bobo. Surely you know that. And you're like, you'll get there. 2 days later, it was 2 days later that I started going, what day of the week is it? And that was my first week of being self-employed.
Yeah,
I was like, this is ridiculous, as was predicted. Yeah. So did you? He's not the only YouTuber that's been up to stuff, of course. Your local buddy Seth had a visit from my local buddy Jordan.
Boostmaster. Yeah.
The Boost.
Yeah. Honestly, if I got the invite to go out and ride with them, it was the hardest invite to not be able to accept because I was actually out of town visiting family, and I really am bummed that I didn't get a chance to ride with Jordan and Seth. But I sent my buddy Nate out there. Oh,
No Breaks Nate. Yeah.
No Breaks Nate got to make his debut on Seth's channel. If you guys go over to Seth's Bike Hacks Patreon, look at that, plugging that. I bet you appreciate that.
Whoa, holy! That's like the patron of shout outs. You know what I mean? You have a shout. It's like, oh yeah, go and check out his YouTube channel. But then it's like, go and subscribe to his Patreon. That's like, whoa,
even better.
Hold on.
Yeah. Seth just put that video up on his Patreon today because I am a patron as well, and it's really good. It was awesome seeing Jordan on the East Coast.
Yeah. And what I don't know if you picked up on this, but Seth kind of dropped in a couple of his older videos, including this "I'm on a bike" kind of Lonely Island "I'm on a boat" ripoff. Well, not ripoff.
The parody. "I'm on a boat" thing from Saturday Night Live, but I gotta admit, I gotta play. Or just come out and say that I had no idea this video was a thing, and it's brilliant. And I'm very angry I didn't think of this. And I'm glad that I saw it on your channel so that I didn't go out and do it like next week, because I would have eventually ripped that off too. And
then someone been like, Jordan Boostmaster did this almost a decade ago. Think
That's
about that.
2009. It was a decade ago. Oh,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're getting old, Paul. We're getting old.
Jesus. Where were you 10 years ago? I just left university.
I was meeting my wife and quitting my band.
What? God, do you ever think like you if you go back in time and have conversations with yourself back then. You're like, you quit your band you quit your band for a chick? Like, that's definitely...
What are you doing? I'd like slap myself around and be like, you're fine. Don't do this. You're getting more fever than the Hoover Dam. What are you doing? Don't leave the band.
You're blowing it.
God no, it all worked out. I would go back and say, do it.
Yeah, just
because otherwise you'll be in jail or dead. No, if I hadn't done that, I would probably be in jail or dead.
Who were you? Who were you back then?
Who was I? Oh, I was a scary mother. Like how hard I could curse on this.
I'm like 50% family friendly. That's how I'm playing it. Like there's some certain words. Yeah, like the most offensive word on the BBC, I won't say that. That's my line. And someone actually called me out. I did this video where I tried this super hard trail called Chossie Slabs. And I bleeped out me saying the C word, the thou shalt not say. And people called me out and said, oh, don't bleep out your swearing. I was like, yeah, I don't bleep it out, but I mean, there's a limit. Like,
the limit. Like, let's be honest.
Like, I've got to get that $100 a month from YouTube ad revenue somehow. So, geez, guys, give me a break.
Yet, and this is not a smart thing to brag about, but I do have wood I can knock on here. I have never had a video demonetized.
Really? And neither have I. Oh, congratulate! Let's congratulate ourselves for a moment.
A little pat on the back. A little pat on the back is what that is.
Nice. I did have a couple at Pink Bike demonetized. I had one of the Friday fails. Someone claimed it because they were in it, and they were like, I didn't give permission. So we had to go through this like whole rigmarole where we said, well, actually, we did get it from. We own like the content that this was pulled from, and then it was fine in the end. But the thing that annoyed me most was that it was like it wasn't even that good a crash. Like in
right, right, like that's what you want to tell the person. Like, yeah, I got here, you diva. You didn't like even OTB. It was terrible. You just washed out on a berm.
Yeah, it was basically that. Like he did a step up and then he just kind of fell off his bike and walked away. He didn't even fall over. Like that's what blew my mind. He didn't actually crash. So,
yep.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I'll show you how to crash.
You are next level crashing. Do you know I haven't crashed at all this year, apart from the last 2 weeks where I took massive slams. One I was going to try and show on this live stream, but I can't get it to work obviously because it's a live stream. But I basically tried to climb up this rock and I fall back and land on a rock on my rib, and I haven't been able to ride. And it's been like beautiful weather, and I'm in quite a lot of pain. So, but yeah,
that's the way it always goes. Injury comes along with the amazing weather. I think that there's a rule in the universe.
Yeah. So there's one last thing I want to point out is that Whistler has a new trail, which is kind of big news. You were talking about coming to Whistler. What ended up happening with that trip? Or is this we can't talk about it? Is that a...
Oh, there's nothing off the table, Paul.
Oh, okay.
Nothing off the table. We're in the nest. We're in the trust nest, right? Like everything is fine. But when I tell people this, I did something illegal, which I do illegal things all the time. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
But I didn't get my passport revoked. It's just expired. Who knew those things expired? So, and apparently you can't go down to like a red box like situation at the grocery store and pick up a passport. So due to my, inability to organize anything, or inability to become a real adult, I didn't have a passport. I didn't plan the trip out well enough, and I ended up at Galbraith, with the Daily Mountain Bike Rider.
Yeah, wait, that hasn't come out yet, has it? That video?
It's out there, yeah. It's out there in the world.
Oh, it is out there. Okay, maybe it's Josh. Oh, I don't know. But I have seen it. I have definitely seen it. But
Josh did not do an episode because he actually made a special trip to get away from work to come out and ride. And I also found out that Josh is a priest. So I was like, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to make an episode with me anyway. But we got along really, really well. Like, me and Josh could be best friends, honestly. I think he's a great guy. And
yeah, he's
like,
he's a rad dude for sure.
You're a writer.
Yeah. No, he's. I think at one point he was trying not to appear as good in his videos, so people wouldn't realize how good he was.
He told me that. He told me there was a good while where he was intentionally holding back because he didn't want to have expectations on him or something like that. I was like, dude, are you kidding me? If I could do what you do, I'd be like showing it off to everybody. Like, I'd be pulling whips and wheelies in the grocery store. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, Josh is a great rider and he's a great dude. So hopefully he's actually in Disney World right now with his family. So hopefully he'll be back anytime soon. But what I wanted to say is that there's this new trail in Whistler. And Nate Hills put up a video of it today. He got permission by the trail builders by the looks of it. And I messaged the person I know at Whistler. I was like, oh, hey, there's this new trail. Like, looks like Nate got a special thing. Could I also get a special thing so I can come up and ride it this weekend? Looks pretty good. And they're like, no, we've shut it down. And I'm like, damn it. So now I watched this video and I've got a lot of kind of FOMO, I guess, about not being able to ride this trail. So
he's got dibs on like the only real content of this thing on the internet right now, huh?
Yeah, I didn't want to put it like that, but really that's what I meant, is that he got the first video up, whereas I did get the first video up of like everywhere else in Creekside, so I was pretty pleased with that. But no, Nate Hills is the OG is beating me to it. So yeah. First world problems.
So. Yeah.
First world problems. Oh, how will I?
Life is so hard.
How will I ever cope? Yeah. So, yeah. What I wanted to talk about. I mean, are you kind of sick of how much mountain bikers talk about new products and bikes and stuff? I know we've done it a bit on this live stream, so there's no smoke without fire here. But like.
No, I mean, I just have really strong ADD. So I absolutely, as soon as that conversation happens, I just turn on Forrest Gump in my head and like, I'm set. So yeah, I'm so sick of that. I mean, I could care less. I hate gear talk. All right. I'm sorry for people in the comments. I'm just a normal guy. And I hate tech talk. I just recently learned how to use a suspension pump.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm really not that. I'm not a suspension pump. I'm really not that bad at the tech talk stuff, but it is on the bottom of the spectrum of my interest. So if we hang out, let's not talk about tech stuff. You know, like anybody comes and rides with me, that's just the furthest thing from my interest.
Yeah, I think the thing that annoys me most about tech stuff is that I just get suckered into it so easily. Because, I mean, you know, my life revolves around mountain biking.
So you love to talk about tech stuff, and here I am talking all this shit in the world.
I hate it. Like this is it. I hate it. I get suckered into talking about it all the time.
Like, whoops! I guess Paul loves that content, that type of conversation.
No. Don't you worry. I'm with you. I think there's so much time spent talking about bikes and not enough time talking about like where people go and ride. Like that's my number one thing.
I'm about that. That's a real conversation right there.
Because it's just like I don't know, and I get suckered in because I enjoy reading about it and stuff, and I have my own opinions, whatever. And then I know I feel myself getting like, you know, going in it, kind of like some sort of, you know, vortex sucking me in, and I'm like, please no, and it's like, come over here and talk about it. I'm like, okay, fine. But yeah, bit of a nightmare. But I wish people would like go on a trip or something. Like go on a holiday, go and ride somewhere new. Because I definitely like all the trip. I've been to so many places around the world. # humble brag right there. But it's like those are the memories that make it, right? Like when you went to Bellingham.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you'll remember. Like that's probably going to be a highlight of the year.
Forget that legal weed shop. It was awesome. And, no, it was fantastic, and it's almost like a notch on your belt, or if you're into like sashes, is like a patch on the sash. Ride somewhere, it could be comparable to what you've done, but it's always going to change you and make you a better rider. So it's like, boom, another slash on the old belt or whatever. And I really hope this upcoming year, the year of 2019 is going to be the year of travel for me. I might even get into the van life, dude, because I feel like
world exclusive. Here we go.
How do you like that? Breaking news.
Yes.
I've been kicking around the idea, and I think that if there's one thing I haven't done much of in my YouTubing is travel. And I envy you guys. I watch you guys' videos all the time, and I want to get in life. I'll probably do the van life thing and park at hotels and then go and stay in the hotel.
But as long as I'm driving in the van, then that's what matters. Yeah,
it counts.
Yeah.
So but yeah, the experiences are definitely far more important than the tech.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, well, just to interject in this conversation, if anyone in the chat would like to talk about where they've been or where they'd like to go, then I'd love to have your interaction. Love to hear what your thoughts are. So, Bobo, I used to have a van. I did van life for a bit, for kind of a summer.
90s, Paul, that wasn't a good look.
The what?
I said, but in the 90s, that wasn't a good look.
Dude, I'm not that old. No, this is like 2015. I did a bit of racing. I did a couple of Enduro World Series. Didn't do very well, obviously. I'm not a pro. And I then went into Europe and followed the World Cup a bit and went to a couple of places in Austria and France and everything. And ended up having a massive crash, which very much put a stop to van life, because I had a huge concussion to the point where I was having a conversation with someone, and then I'd say "Oh, have you heard that new Ben Howard album?" And then someone would just stare at you blankly and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What? Oh, that's not weird." And they're like, "That's the third time you've asked us that." I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
The trauma.
Yeah.
I can see you right now, dry, on a road trip, and just you look over to the other person "Oh man, I just had the wildest dream," and they look back at you and are like, "You realize you're driving, right?"
Yeah, no, I definitely did. I lied in my bed while other people drove from where I had it. It happened in Austria at this place called Cephaus Visladis, and it was so wild. If you're going to crash, Bobo, in Europe, make sure it's in Austria, because I was going to say hotels, their hospitals are next level. They were
you mean they don't cost $20,000 to check in?
Well, this whole, I'm sure you understand, what Brexit is and how the UK is leaving the EU. You can get this thing. It costs. It doesn't even cost any money, right? It's free, and it's called an EU health card. So if you're in a hospital in Europe and something goes wrong and you have to go in there and see a doctor, it's free. Even if you're in a foreign country. I mean, there's a couple of things the ambulance down the mountain, I had to claim that back through insurance. But when I was in the hospital, I had an overnight stay. I had an MRI. What do pregnant ladies get when they have this stuff? An ultrasound. I had an ultrasound, X-rays, doctors, and it was all paid for from being part of the European Union.
That in America, that would cost about roughly a Toyota Tacoma,
exactly.
2015 model.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, we won't get into that whole.
No, we got far enough.
I mean, you actually said before this, we're not going to talk about politics. I'm like, we'll never talk about politics, but here we are.
Well, you said we're going to talk about heavy shit, and I was just like, well, I don't want to talk about heavy shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I did a bit of van life. I wasn't the best. I almost did the when I went to the Leo Gang World Cup. and I was kind of a bit over living in the van for a bit. So I kind of messaged I said, "Oh, I work for Pink Bike. I'm going to message the local tourism group." And I was like, "Hey, do you have any hotels for media?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. We've got this 5-star resort down the road."
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
So I like rolled up in my van, and all the other people that had been like van lifing it and I've been hanging out with, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go back to my hotel, and went and hung out in the spa, and like, oh, it was ridiculous. But yeah, no, it's funny that you just said like drive up in a van and stay in hotels, because it's pretty much what I did.
That's gonna be my plan too. For sure. But there's a couple things on a lot of people in the comments talking about Austin, Texas. So I guess I got to go out to Texas and check that out.
Oh yeah.
But for me personally, there's definitely one other than Whistler on my list, and that's Moab. Yes. I would love to do. I've never ridden a mountain bike in anything resembling desert. So I mean, that would be like mountain biking on another planet. So I think that'd be cool. And Total Exposure is also probably the first porno I ever saw. How did you see that? Oh, my ribs hurt so much. To equate something back to porno.
That was amazing. First Contact. I'm sure that's a porno somewhere.
First Contact.
First Contact with the jokes. Yeah, I went Moab last year. I'm actually going in 1 month's time with my girlfriend.
Trail Stoke just said he just got back from Moab.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. I wonder how it's changed a lot. I wonder if it's because, like, I mean, 8 years ago, I mean, bikes are probably going to be a bit different. But I imagine the town has changed. It seems super expensive. Like, even from last year, like when I went, I swear hotels cost way more.
Well, dude, I have a free place to stay in Moab, so that's what makes it even easier. Yeah. My in-laws own a place there, and it's quite nice. So I don't know. I've just been so damn busy. Can't drive. I don't even know how far Moab is away. It could be on another continent, as far as I know. Traveling. Gotta start traveling soon. Yeah. I want to ride more places.
But it's like, I think it's like a 22 hour drive from Squamish. So we'll just crush that out in a couple of days. But it's so worth it. It's an amazing place. And hey, if you're looking for someone to go mountain biking with, I will be there 21st to the 28th in that area. So it's so good. Like there's places you can, like, there's trails to Klondike Bluffs. You go there and there's like dinosaur footprints. Like it's like there's a lot to it in this small place. And the best thing about mountain biking is that, like, the primo conditions that are now, like that's their dead season. So like it's like the town's not overrun. It's an easy, like, you can go and get restaurant seats and stuff like that. So yeah, it's such a rad place. Is there I
want to go.
Yeah, man. Is there one trail that you're like, I want to ride that trail?
Not to name drop, but the whole enchilada looks mighty tasty. But I think that's a common one. I'm sure if I were to link up with someone familiar with it, they'd be like, no, we should do this other trail.
No. Whole enchilada is one of the best trails I've ever ridden. That whole lap, it's amazing. It's hard. It's very, very hard.
It looks challenging.
I think it took me 5.5 hours. I think that's the length of time. And that was with camera faff as well.
Oh, and Neil Britton, he says it's 1,800 miles from Asheville to Moab, so that should take like 6 hours. I'm just kidding. I'm just like trying to illustrate my lack of math ability. But that's not terrible. I mean, 1,800 miles. So what?
We work in metric in Canada. We work in metric.
So that is 3,500 kilometers. I don't know.
Yeah, it almost is twice as much. Now, someone that can help talk about miles. Great segue. Our friend Joe has just popped into the live stream. Joe, can you talk?
Yes, I can. How's it going?
Oh my God, listen to that high production microphone. Oh
Is that Morgan Freeman?
Oh my God, Ethan Klein, welcome to the live stream, king of podcasts. welcome.
And
Yeah,
that I just couldn't comprehend.
nice.
What up?
Aren't you? So I saw
What's
on
going on,
your stories that you're not in Moab, but you were invited.
It was I can appreciate Bobo's, pain when he has to turn down a really awesome mountain biking opportunity. I actually was, but then I, decided to invert myself while riding my bike and land in a pile of rocks, and that laid me out for quite a while. And I decided it wasn't a good idea to do the whole enchilada on a hardtail off a fresh back injury.
Yeah, probably a good
I
idea.
would probably agree. I would probably agree with you. quite harshly. When does your new bike arrive?
The new bike, which I'm still keeping a secret, will be here Tuesday.
Oh, okay. So, hey.
Look at it. He's too good for you, Paul. I'm over here divulging information.
Exactly.
I just totally dropped a bomb with my van life plan. And you can't tell us what brand it is at least? Come on.
What the hell, Joe? This is a place for world exclusives. That's what this show is, and that's what a show will always be. If it's not world exclusive, you're not welcome. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, obviously. Please stay. But, yeah, I think... I mean, is it fair to say that you may have ridden this bike recently?
I will say this. I'm a very large advocate of do not buy a bike until you have had the opportunity to ride it.
Oh!
But I had to bend this rule for this particular bike just because I could not get it locally.
What? The mystery continue. Yes, you have my attention. I'm definitely involved in the story now.
How long you got for recovery time there? When do you think you'll be back at full Punter?
I actually went up to...
Oh, no. Sorry. There's many punters apart from me. Joe, sorry. Please continue.
I just thought that was a term.
Oh, it is. It is, yeah.
I'm basically at 90% now. For those that aren't familiar, when I crashed, I actually messed up a sciatic nerve that went down my right leg to match the one that I messed up on my left leg. The good news is that I did not mess it up as thoroughly as I had on my left leg, so it healed up quite quickly. I got the feeling back in my leg within a few weeks, and then the soreness and pain has more or less gone away. Right now, I'm just kind of looking at it as I've had a few good runs, hanging out with some cool people. I did Monarch Crest Trail with the guys, and then I hit up. I've hit up like 3 bike parks.
It sounds. I mean, 90% is good to go. I mean,
90% is good to go, but I kind of want to end the season on a high note. So I'm gonna kind of rein it back in and get stronger and healthier to come back swinging next season.
Oh,
that's good.
Okay.
Hey, what is this end of season thing you guys keep talking about?
Fuck off,
I have to
Bobo.
get used to that myself.
You guys have no idea what it's like. So any day now, no, not that. Hold on. These aren't all my bikes. This road bike here will become the Zwift bike. And that's when I start the Zwift live streaming and get some of that YouTube gaming money. I'm pretty sure that riding my bike on a turbo trainer in some virtual world counts as YouTube gaming. So can't wait for that to start. My new
I
career.
can't wait either.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Bobo, it's actually amazing. I'm gonna do super chats for Watt bombs. So basically, every time I get a super chat, I will do a massive sprint. Basically, so I keep thinking about it every day. Is this going to end up with me vomiting live on stream for money? Do I feel like a stripper collecting dollar bills off the floor? I don't know how I feel about it yet. But I think it's just going to manifest itself and come through. Yeah, but I also want to shout out Alan Crisp, who is in the chat there. He is a former colleague of mine at Pink Bike, and he did help build this road bike. It is very well built. So once again, Alan, Thank you for your help on that, because I have zero skills when it comes to putting road bikes together.
As much as it pains me to do this, because I would, as a morbid person, find this hysterical. You might want to put like a watt cap on, certain super chats, because if you say like, oh, every time someone super chats, I'll do like a 500 watt sprint for like, me and everyone else is just going to bomb the chat with like $1 super chats.
That's it. Like, Bobo, what do you do with your songs? Like this, I was actually looking for some advice here, because obviously you play a song, but does the quality, the length of song, does the quality?
I think I'm going to stop doing that. I think that's something that's going to probably not happen much longer, because it's just, I don't know. I'm rethinking my entire format for live streaming. Sometimes those live streams go like incredibly well. Sometimes they don't render very good results, and mostly because, it's not always easy to come up with a cracker of a song right there on the spot. So
you do a great job. You do a fantastic job on that.
They always end up being about balls or something, so like
yeah, I think but
so that's what it's come down to. It's like, how many more days do I want to spend in my computer room singing about balls? I don't know.
Probably at least 2 to 3 years. But thanks again for the world exclusive, Joe. Please keep up. So I think I don't know, like, I mean, if it's a $50 super chat, do you kind of think, maybe some different progressions here, maybe some antecedent consequent phrasing, maybe like use of a couple of movements, like, or if it's like $2, do you like go, this is 3 chords and I'm done? Like, is that how you structure the song requests?
Yeah, typically. Typically, it's about, obviously, if it's not $10 or more, then people will just keep tossing small super chats at me, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what do I do? Like, write a 1-verse song for that person? So I kind of like set the standard for like $10 is where we start.
Yeah.
And then some people will drop 100, which is crazy, and then I'll give them Freebird, But fires is like when someone gives me a $10 chat, and then I just don't stop the song. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or not. But so at least if you're doing like watts and whatnot, you're like, no, there's a number you cut off, But
yeah. Okay. Like, to put it into context, I don't know how much you guys have kind of worked with power when you go and bike, but like, if I literally if I am pedaling along, cruising, it's like 150 to 200 watts. Like, that's like your pedaling along number. But then, yeah, if you go for this full sprint, go hammer, it's probably going to hit like 800. So I think I like the idea of if it's above 10, then I'll drop a watt bump. And I think that I'll retain some dignity there, which is the most important thing, of course, in life. So I think,
clearly,
yeah, I think that's what I'm going for. But it'll probably start next week. I'll probably start doing them next week. I'm gonna have it all like set up here. So, and it's pretty cool. Hopefully, I mean, I tried one last year with like, worse than Bobo level internet connection from down here and processing power. But I think now we're good to go. So next week.
My 1998 flip phone burner doesn't have great internet. I don't understand.
That's weird. I'm trying to run it off E. What does E mean on my phone? Live streaming with E. I mean, if you live stream with E, I'm sure that would get quite a lot of viewers. But maybe not for internet connection. Yeah. Cool. Well,
if your live spin thing takes off, you could change the name of the channel to Peloton Paul.
Paul, yeah, Peloton. Paul. I've got to have the in there though. So like, Paul the, wait,
right? Paul the human Peloton? No.
Paul the one man Peloton. There it is. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. So Trail Six just said, Paul, I feel like I'm watching the ESPN bottom line. Yep, it's just as high quality as that. That's for sure. This and definitely we just talk about sport. Like that's the other important thing to realize. Yeah. Yeah. I think what. Hey Joe, what can you, Bobo? Have you ridden in Colorado before?
No, but I want to, and I think Joe lives there now, so that means I got a free place to stay.
Me too. So I think we're gonna round up this live stream. I just want a bit of Colorado chat because I don't understand it, and I'm about to go to Moab again in like a month's time. So, and obviously I'm going to be pretty close to Colorado. But I mean, Joe, is stuff still happening? Like, what's the weather situation?
The weather in Colorado is always kind of bipolar. 1 week it can be absolutely gorgeous. Like late fall, it can get into like the 70s and be sunny, and then the next day suddenly there's snow on the ground. You definitely want to stay away from the high alpine riding. You want to stay kind of more in the foothills, plains area if you can.
But the high alpine stuff looks so awesome.
You really don't.
How could I say no?
There in a winter storm, that can get real sketchy real quick.
It'll be fine as long as you've got some like appropriate clothing. You're good to go in the high alpine.
So, what is the possibility of me running into, say, like a grizzly bear in Colorado? Is that something's going to happen, or is it?
It's actually a lot.
I hear they're large.
Yeah, it's a lot higher than you want to think about. You might want to borrow some slippers from Seth, just in case.
I don't know. I think a slipper will work on a black bear. I don't see myself attacking a grizzly with a slipper.
I was like, what are you?
Bears are less likely. You're probably not going to run into a brown bear here. Up in Canada, though, yeah, I think that might be a possibility.
I just want to have. So I saw a video. I won't buy a YouTuber. So I don't want to kind of sell this person down the line, but they did a video. It was all about. It was titled something about bears, and then they go and ride the trail, and I know the trail, like I can almost see it from my house, humble brag, and it's kind of like they were talking about bears the whole time. I was like, why are they making such a big deal out of this? And then I'm pretty sure they kind of fabricated seeing a bear and it following them.
Oh, oh yeah, I remember this video. It was like the worst digital grizzly bear I've ever seen in my entire life. Is that not what I'm thinking of?
No, this is like it
looked like Tony the Tiger.
No, I know the exact one you're talking about, but no, this is like a bike YouTuber, and they say like, there's a bear over there. What? Oh my! And you never see the bear, and you never see anything. They're like, oh my god, get the bear spray! Oh Jesus, what? I was kind of looking at this like. Is this whole ride been fabricated for kind of bear clickbait? Bear bait, you might even say.
It's real life.
Is this real life? And I was just like, right, let me tell you about brown bears, right, in Canada. Okay? They're like cows. They're so afraid of you, it's untrue. I've no, it's like you ride up to them and they're like, what the fuck is that? Oh my god, and they bolt. They are gone. Like, if they've got their cub next to them and you're in between them, that's the only situation where they'll be like, what you talking about? And then they'll like, come at you. But like that situation is so rare. Great. Like, yeah, there's a lot of like bear hype, if you like. Apart from grizzlies, they will fuck you up.
I did run into a bear last week on the trail.
Hmm?
Yeah,
Really?
A black bear. Yeah.
And what happened?
Took off. I saw like its eyes got just gigantic, and I've never seen a giant beast toss trees out of its way to get the fuck away from us. It was so scared, and like we were on the climb, and like I went from group so far. I went to the top of the group, and my buddy Nate was in the front of the line. He goes, "Hey, Bobo, is that you?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, what was that noise? I'm like, that was a bear. It's like, he goes, oh, I'm glad you're behind me. I was like, yeah, you see how close I got to you, right? So if you want to climb faster, just run into a bear.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely help.
I mean, grizzlies will fuck you up big time.
Yeah.
But, like black bears, as I said, they're pretty docile unless there's there's cubs about. But yeah, okay, cool. Well, do you know what? We've been chatting for an hour and 20 minutes, and there's no way someone's going to watch this on the replay. So let's wrap it up. Hey, Bobo, you've been an incredible guest. Thank you very much for coming along.
Thanks for the invite, Paul. Appreciate it.
No problem. Stop by any time. Joe, your voice has been more than soothing, sensual, some might say. Thank you for joining in. And hopefully one day there's 8 people in the chat, including Trail Peak of all YouTubers. Yes, Zach, I see you there. You're there. All you have to do is click on the I want to chat and you can join right in. So hopefully we'll get to the point where... Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to the point where I'm sort of the mountain bike version of Fraser Crane, but in real life. So thanks very much, everyone, for watching. Peace out. Enjoy mountain bikes.